What is going on, YouTube? I wanted to do a video today because actually a few weeks ago I did a video talking about why I think 1-ups are not worth the money. I think that they are basically overpriced game room display pieces. Now you're gonna tell me that that's ironic because I have two behind me.
Hey,
and
listen.
The fact of the matter is I don't like to give away gifts, and the Mortal Kombat 2 was a gift for Christmas one year, and the Pacman game I actually won at a raffle at work for a charity event, so I've been holding on to it. Now in that video I went over talking about the points of it where to me it's just a cheap plywood. It's a fun little gimmick to have for a while, but after so long it just becomes, you know, it's very overrated is what I want to say. And Scott the Waz recently did a video on a Scott's Stash YouTube channel, which I could pull up right here to show you guys quick. And it was about 6 days ago now. It's had about 324,000 views, which is normal for him because of how popular Scott is. But he kind of went over, yeah, like you could read in his crap. I start rambling about the arcade 1-up to a camera at 2 a.m. And that's really kind of how my channel goes a lot of the times. Like right now it is 3:50 a.m. I have no other time to go, so I'm recording. And both him and I kind of went over the same thing. We talked about how these 1-up arcade cabinets are awesome for people that want to relive the glory days of playing an arcade game but cannot afford one. Or there's somebody like me who arcades were on the way out as I was hitting that certain age, you know, so I was able to play like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, which is really why I was kind of glad to get this Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet, because I remember playing Mortal Kombat 2 at the actual arcade. Now when I seen these come out, me like Scott was like, I gotta get one of these. These are freaking awesome. They look so cool. And I understand that they were the smaller size. You pretty much have to buy the riser, which I thought it's really bullcrap to me. That not only do they make them like that, but then they also sell the piece that you need to have with them for 50 bucks. But we'll go over that later on. But you know, he also pointed out a lot more things than I did. His video was close to 36 minutes long. Mine was like 15, kind of high, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, like this one's going to be. And you know, they were cool to have at first. You played them for a little while, but now they are basically cool things to have in my game room to talk about when people come over. The only one that really actually still enjoys playing them regularly is my 5-year-old son, and that's because he honestly doesn't know any better. Now, when I tried to play Mortal Kombat back there, I almost think I need to invest in a bunch of money in buying actual joysticks and stuff like that. On top of it, it cost $300 and some to get in the first place, and I feel like I have to drop another $100 and some just to get it playable, guys. Now I struggled the one time just to get Scorpion to do the get over here and to get Sub-Zero just to do his freeze blast, and I honestly struggled just to go side to side because it seemed like every time I'd push side to side I'd either jump or I'd duck down. And the joy, they just don't feel good. And I know there's a lot of people out there, like Rexer and stuff like that, that will totally agree with me that they're kind of preying on the people that don't know any better. Now, in my last video, I did have a few commenters that said they do enjoy their 1-ups. They really love them and stuff like that. And that's fine. If that's your thing, I'm not saying that, you know, you can't enjoy them. I'm just saying that I don't, and I know a lot of people that don't. And what these people were preying on was our nostalgia, our not knowing any better. But like Scott was pointing out in the video, one of the really bullcrappy things that they're doing, I think, is one of the big things is they're just re-releasing some of this garbage and upping the price. And they're adding different stuff. Like for 1 minute, like now when the original Pac-Mans came out, they didn't have the lighted marquee. They didn't have the stuff like that. Hell, I think one of them was only had 2 games on it, maybe Pac-Man and Galaga. So like this one that I won at the raffle, it's got all the different kinds of Pac-Man except for Miss Pac-Man, which this is another thing that's really weird is I guess that you cannot put Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man together on the same machine. There's some kind of licensing issue. I don't know nothing about it. Maybe somebody can enlighten me in the comments below. But I mean, this one, I saw the price tag. This is about a $450 machine. I won it at a raffle. For charity. I bought raffle tickets and I won the grand prize, and it's cool. like, don't get me wrong, I actually enjoy the Pacman one more than the Mortal Kombat one, which I do not know why. I'm not a huge Pacman fan. I do like Galaga. I believe it's, yeah, Galaga. But that's how they're getting you guys. They are releasing these cabinets. You'll buy them, you'll hook them up, you'll play them, and then 3 to 6 months later, they'll release a new one. Okay, guys, you like that one? Well, how about this one? This one's all lit up now. And to prove my point, I'm just going to pull up their webpage right now. I clicked on new arrivals there, and right away, look at these new arrivals right here. My 2 machines are right here. And that's what made me laugh, guys. Their Mortal Kombat Deluxe cabinet. You know what it is, basically? It's the same cabinet I have there, with maybe a couple more graphics on it. I'm pretty sure the marquees and stuff light up. And it has the little coin things on the front. $500. And guess what, guys? It's still short as heck. That guy's probably about 5'8". He's not like 6'2" or something like that. She's probably like 5'2". And that is the same with this cabinet down here. You have my same basic cabinet right there, but yellow, and it's got the cool little coin things, which I think is actually pretty cool. But it's the same machine. It's probably got, I might even have less. Let's see what games it has on it. So supposedly it's got 14 of the classic games on it, which is that's nice. But I don't want product details. Maybe it'll tell me here. Okay, so yeah, so this is probably the better part about this. It does include a little bit more classics, like 2 different Galagas, all the Pacmans that I have on there. It's got Dig Dug 1 and 2, Rolling Thunder, Rompers, Mappy. So it does have a little bit more. But is that really worth $500? I mean, and now they're trying to sell these, tell you to Wi-Fi leaderboards so you can challenge people from across the world. Over 5 feet tall, barely. I would say that this is right at 5 feet. Now, I love the monitor. I think the monitor looks great on this. I don't know about that one personally. I do like that you kind of have to actually look down more instead of straight like this, like mine is over here. But it's honestly, like, it's a deluxe cabinet. And these are new arrivals. How do they already have up to about 600 reviews? Now, I know Rexer did a talk about these before, where he had mentioned that, you know, a lot of these ones that are getting sent out are getting sent to people for free so they could do reviews on them and make YouTube videos. But in order for them to accept the free thing, they have to send the video to 1UP, and then 1UP's got to approve the video, guys. Now, this is kind of one I don't get, the Fast and the Furious one. I mean, that's the gimmicks that they kind of give out. Like, let's do a racing one and stuff like that. Now, if they had maybe like a cruising one or something like that, or, you know, those ones, I would definitely go for it. And these are new to the Infinity game boards. I never recognized this before. Looks like it's kind of nice. It's got some of the games on there, but you know how easy it is to just get a cheap-ass tablet and to put these games on there, period? And I don't know, does this tablet come with all these games on here, or do you have to buy them separate? This is how I know that this stuff is fake. Look at all these reviews for the same days. 507, 507, 507, 508, 508, 508, 508, 508. How many people leave reviews on the same days like that? And it stops on the 9th. So I wonder if that's what they gave out for. Okay, let's just pull up one more thing. What do they have for their best sellers? It is what it is. I enjoy this. Now I know, like, I'd love to have the NBA Jam one because that is a favorite in the house. We like playing NBA Jam, whether it be on, you know, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, stuff like that. And Blitz is another favorite in the house. But I did hear that they did kind of a people would say a woke version of Blitz. They took away the after hits and did all those other stuff because, you know, nowadays that they're making a big deal about getting hit and hurt in the NFL, head stuff and like that, which I get, and I can understand why you would want to, But it's a game, guys. Like, we know that the part of Blitz is its over-the-top arcadiness. And I guess they've even taken out some of the commentary that these people say. This is new, a 4-player Pong table, okay. What the fuck? We got a 30th anniversary Mortal Kombat cabinet for a $500, and that is ugly as hell. The Dragon Lair is one I've seen somebody have that's actually cool, and this Street Fighter one looks pretty cool itself. But just playing on more what Scott talked about, he had way more of my. I mean, I got 2. I've seen a couple people with more, but Scott had a ton of them. I don't know if I had the picture here at some point. It doesn't do just. Yeah, you can see all the ones he has behind it. It looks like Big Game Hunter, whatever one on there. But he said his big one that he wanted to have personally. Oh, sorry, I didn't even show you guys there. But you can see right behind him, he's got Big Game Hunter and some of those other ones. He said that he wanted to get these, you know, just for the specific ones. I don't know how old Scott is. I mean, it's hard for he's one of those guys that looks young, no matter what. He's probably gonna be, you know, 50, 60, and still look like he's 30. So I honestly do not know how old he is. So I don't even know if when growing up, if he could experience the arcades, you know, the way that I did, and of course the way that the generation before me did. But he talked about, I believe, remembering growing up and going into certain places and them having arcades, you know, like a Street Fighter cabinet or something like that, and you just be blown away and loving it. And then the dream that 1UP is getting with people is that everybody wanted to have one of those growing up. So now, and then unless you want to go out and find an arcade auction, which is becoming harder and harder to find nowadays, or if you wanted to drop $2,000 to $3,000, maybe even more on an arcade cabinet that might work for a little while, but then you have to have some kind of expertise in mechanics and stuff like that, because if that thing goes down, you need to know how to fix it. It's the same with pinball machines. I would love to have a pinball machine, guys. Just because of nostalgia growing up, I remember there was a couple bars in town that, you know, my dad and his buddies would go there. He'd give me some quarters, and I'd go play on the pinball machine. And just the nostalgia of having a pinball machine would be really cool. But I'm going to run into the same thing here. Unless I drop a couple $1,000s on a good cabinet or a good pinball machine, I'm going to end up stuck with something that's probably going to hit the buttons. The flippers are probably going to be a couple seconds behind, and it's just not going to work as good as I dreamed. And that's what he said here. He said he went on a buying spree. All these cool ones were coming out, and he was buying them and not even really even playing them for a little while, and then they were just sitting there. And I think people like RGT85 kind of did the same thing. They got caught up in the element of it. I remember him putting his brick wall up, and he had arcades lined up on it, and he was like, these are so cool, and they loved them and everything like that. I don't know if he was getting paid to say that or not. He could have just been getting them for free and was had to make that to try and sell more of them. But it worked. I mean, I saw those videos and I was like, this is cool. I want to get one too. Now, I don't hate the company. I mean, they're probably not charging, I think they're charging too much, but that's probably what these things are going to cost people. Now, I know there's other companies out there, I can't think of them off the top of my head. I know Show Me Retro and a lot of those other guys are way more experts on these cabinets I am, so make sure you go check out Show Me Retro and like the Retro Show and stuff like that, because they talk more about this stuff. And even like Endless 1UP and those guys, they really know more about arcade cabinets than I do. But it wasn't, I was let down. I was pretty disappointed because I was expecting, to relive the glory days. And like I said, to me, Mortal Kombat's not even playable. It's fun to play with my son because I'm not trying to climb the leaderboards. And Pacman is fun for the most part. I play the original Pacman, and like I said, I play Galaga. But once again, I got them for free, and I kind of like to hold on to stuff that I get as gifts or stuff like that. I might sell them someday, who knows. I've sold stuff in the past that I've gotten as a gift, but I just think they look cool, and that's my big thing about them is, are they overpriced game room decor or what? I raggled on enough. I want you guys to make sure you go check out Scott DeWaz's take on the arcade 1UPs. I think him and I shared similar thoughts on it. I got most of the way through his video, and I agree with almost everything he said about them. They're cool to have, they're cool to look at, but they're really not that fun to play to me.
And I had a commenter recently on my other video that kind of said the same thing. He said his arcade 1-up he loves, but he had to dump about, you know, on top of paying for the cabinet, he had to dump about $1,000 into it with mods, enhancements, and stuff like that. And to me, it's not even, if you're at that point, I might as well just try and go and buy a machine. They do pop up randomly here. I know the one time I wish I would have picked this up, but they had the Pacman bar, the bar table, where it's actually a table and you look down. And I really wish I would have grabbed that when I seen that, because that was really cool. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think that this is kind of ridiculous that they just keep rehashing and releasing these cabinets every few months, and all they do is add a little feature here and there and nothing really crazy? Or do you think that this is not, you know, I think with all the options that they could have, you know, like they really didn't push for the Ninja Turtles much anymore. They didn't really push. I'd love to have the Simpsons ones, and that one's gone. You don't even see those anymore. It just seems like they're rehashing out all these other ones. Like well, we didn't even look at this one. They had the Killer Instinct Pro Series 1. It's $1,000. The Shaq Edition, okay, we didn't even look at the prices on those, but the NBA Jam one was $700. The Blitz one was $600. Ridiculous. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. I'm done looking at this. And don't get me started on the Wi-Fi. And they advertise on the Wi-Fi that you can play against other players. I hear it's crap. I hear it cuts out. The servers are crap. It doesn't work very good at all. That's what I hear anyways, guys. So take that with a grain of salt. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, leave a comment below and let's talk about this stuff. I don't, if you support 1-up, cool. If you don't, cool. Everybody has their own opinions. This video has been my opinion on it, and if you made it this far in the video, thank you guys. Let's discuss this topic, so make sure you comment below, guys. As always, stay retro, my friends. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure you check out Scott's channel. He's a great guy.